I remember my sixth grade teacher, Mrs. Lysine, because as a shy and quiet student, she always encouraged me to speak up. I also remember the classroom environment being one that felt safe and where she really made learning fun.
When I was in third grade, I had a teacher named Mrs. Wing, and she told me on the first day of school her son's name was Doug, the same as mine. From that day forward, I felt like she treated me better and liked me better than all the other students. Years later, at a college reunion, I ran into Doug Wig, her son, and I told him what I thought of his mother and what a wonderful teacher she was. And he said, "Well, you're in luck because she's here tonight. You can go tell yourself." So I got a chance to reacquaint with Mrs. Wing. She remembered me, remembered my family, and I was able to really tell her how much I appreciated how she treated me as a third grader.
I remember Miss Dearth in fifth grade, and what I remember most about her was just that she was always smiling and laughing and just having a good time. One specific memory I have is when I was getting ready to go to another class and I forgot a book I needed. So I was so nervous to go back into homeroom and get my book, thinking I would get in trouble because I didn't remember or I wasn't responsible. And when I went in the room, she was just so understanding, and she said, we all forget things. It's not a big deal. Grab it. Have a great day. And so I just remembered feeling like, oh, okay, I'm okay. And, that's just what she did with her smile and her attitude.
The teacher that I remember is Susan Phillips. She was my high school humanities teacher in Chimacum, Washington. She was amazing at providing tons of rigor and high expectations for her students, but also having lots of fun with us in the classroom and showing us how much she cared about us. Just like all of the other teachers that I truly remember, they really showed they cared.
I remember my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Dahl, because she was the first teacher that I had after moving to a new town and starting at a new school. And I just remember her being so kind and so welcoming, and I really loved being in her classroom. So thank you, Mrs. Dahl, and to teachers everywhere for the care and kindness that you show your students that they will remember for years to come.
I remember Mrs. Christensen, my elementary and high school music instructor. She recognized my musical talents and abilities before I recognized them in myself, and she was always encouraging me and helping me to hone those skills.
I remember my first grade teacher, Mrs. Coppage, because she made me feel special and loved. She always gave great big hugs and was always smiling. I felt safe and loved when I was in her classroom.
I remember Mrs. Bartleson. She was one of my high school teachers. And I remember the day that I was in her class and I sat on one of the tables. And as I was doing that, the table broke. I was mortified. I was fine. She ran over to me and said, "Oh my gosh, Gail, are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, a little bit, feeling a little bad." And she said, "Oh, Gail, I'm so sorry. I want you to know accidents happen." I couldn't believe it. I thought she was going to get mad at me. She said, "Accidents happen."
I remember my seventh grade English teacher, Mr. Worley. He was just one of those teachers that went above and beyond for everything. At the time, there was a group of us that was determined to have a school newspaper. So he stayed before school, after school, got us all the supplies we needed. He really went above and beyond for everything, and that's just the kind of teacher he was. And so when I think of people I remember him because he made that little dream of ours come true.
When I was 11, my sixth grade teacher, Mr. Therio, told me he thought I would become the first woman president of the United States. I thought he was crazy. What I realize now is he just was showing he believed in me, and I gained such a confidence and grew so much that year, and I have him to thank. So thank you, Mr. Therio. And thank you to all of the other teachers. You guys are truly remarkable, and thanks for everything that you do.